guys? Jeff Cavaliere, ATHLEAN-X.com. Today I want to talk to you about partial reps and how we actually need to explore more than just the common use of partial reps if we want to get the most out of them. You see, a lot of times guys will take the lightest 50% of an exercise, because we know that every exercise can be divided up into two parts, two halves, the hardest 50% and the lightest 50%. And what they'll do is they'll work on really loading up the bar, really loading up the weight, and improving their strength in that easier or lighter half of that exercise. Now, while that's a good benefit and a good way to add additional strength in a particular exercise, it's not the only benefit we can get from partial reps. Matter of fact, I actually have been experimenting a lot with the other half of the exercise, the hardest half of the exercise, and worked on lightening up the weights to go for additional benefits. The exercise I've been using is the side lateral raise, and I've been trying to increase the size of my shoulders, and it's been actually helping me a lot. Because what I can do now is take, again, the lighter or the heavier half of the exercise, and in the case of the side lateral, it's going to be the upper half here, right? We should know that if you've been following our videos, because you put the science back in strength, physics would tell you that the lever arm here, when the shoulders are working, is going to be basically our arm, right? The rest of our arm. If we keep our arm straight, it's both our humerus and down here into our forearm. And what we're doing is we want to raise that up until it's perpendicular to the line of force, which in this case is always going to be gravity straight down when we're using dumbbells. So if we know that up at the top here, we're perpendicular to gravity, which will be represented by that dumbbell, that's when the muscles are working the hardest. If the muscles or if that lever arm is parallel to the force of gravity, like it is now, going straight down, then there's no work being done there. So what's the hardest half? Not this part, because this is the closest to parallel. It's this part, which is the closest to perpendicular, okay? So when we know that, I lighten the weights up. I can normally do 45 pounds on a dumbbell side lateral raise, but not if I isolate that second half, that hard half of the exercise. I'm down to 15s, and you can see I will struggle. I'm basically taking it from here, and now with no momentum, just really initiating the contraction here through my delts. Here, squeeze it just with the delts, and down, and squeeze it up. Now I can assure you, this feels really heavy. This feels heavier than the 45s. But what's good is that it's really focusing the contraction here in the delt and making the shoulder do a lot more work than it's used to. Is that a blow to my ego? No, I can give a shit, guys. If I'm doing more work and getting the results that I'm looking for, then that's all that matters. So we can take it and obviously apply it to other exercises. If we're thinking about the harder portion of a bench press, it's going to be the bottom half, which is different than what I just showed you here, and it changes for every exercise. But the benefit there might not be trying to get a more intense contraction. The benefit, and a secondary benefit here of doing lighter partials in the heavier range, is to work on getting through sticking points. So with the bench press, I would do exactly that. Lighten it up, go down to the very bottom, and work on initiating a contraction with more force down in that hard part of the exercise. Same thing can be done with the bottom of a squat. Get better at the sticking point. So you can use it for hypertrophy, you can use them for overcoming sticking points, but you got to put that ego aside, lighten those damn weights up, and start doing what you're supposed to be doing, which is getting to be better than you are today. It doesn't matter what the weight is if you're going to be better tomorrow than you are today. Guys, if you found this video helpful, make sure you leave your comments and thumbs up below. And if you want a program that puts this all in place, I tell you all the different advanced training techniques. This is one that's been around forever, but there's different ways that we can apply them and get major benefits from them in ways you maybe never thought before. It's in our ATHLEAN-X training system, guys, and wherever you are along the way, whether you're just starting out in ATHLEAN-X or you're all the way down in NXT in our advanced training programs, there's a program for you, and there's a training technique that's going to challenge your ass till no end. I got to get you there, and I got to coach you through every step. And I'm happy to do that, guys. Like I said, head to ATHLEAN-X.com right now and join Team Athlean. In the meantime, I'll be back here again in just a couple days. Make sure you let me know whatever else that you want to see, and I'll make sure that I bring it to you. All right, talk to you soon.